Hi, this is Thad Fink again with Unimar. What this segment is going to cover is the installation of all the wires that are going inside the control cabinet. This video covers FAA type LH64, LH65 medium intensity lighting systems and Unimar part numbers DLS1-008 and WLS1-008 medium intensity lighting systems. So, okay, what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and discuss recommended tools for this. First thing we're going to need for installation, we're going to need our flathead 1/8 inch screwdriver. Next thing we're going to need is our camera. And that should get us through this installation, guys. Flathead screwdriver, 1/8 inch, and our camera. And we should be ready to get this installation done. Second thing we'd like to point out, most of our enclosures come typically with 5 knockouts in them. We're not knocking out all the slots. Basically, we have one knockout done. We're going to run all the conductors or all the wires through the single knockout spot and just make determinations. We're just doing that for the speed of the video. Each one of these incoming lines comes with a cable cord grip and the installation kit. We're not going to be installing the cable cord grips. We're just going to be running the wires through the knockout, putting them into their terminal block position, and then being done. But when you do your install, you want to make sure you knock out the appropriate number of holes and you use your cable cord fittings for the cables running in the system. Next thing we want to talk about is safety. Okay, we have no power running to this thing. You guys want to make sure that when you're installing this thing, that there's no power going to the breaker's off, no power anywhere during the installation. Be safe, guys. Be safe. So that's pretty much it. We've talked about our tools. We've talked about our knockouts and how to do it right in the field and how we're going to do it here in the video. And we've talked about making sure there's no power in this thing anywhere during installation. So first thing we're going to go ahead and install is the flash head cable. Now, per the other videos and the instructions, okay, we have our control box, we have our surge device, and then up here on the structure is our flash head. We have made our terminations in here, and what we're going to do is run our flash head cable into our enclosure and make the terminations. We're going to go ahead and make sure our conductors are clean. My ground is a little bit goobered up there. So we're going to go ahead and run this through here. And we're going to grab our 1/8 inch screwdriver. And I'm going to take a little bit of time here, guys. But we just want to make sure we get this whole installation on video for you and you don't have any questions. So we want to make sure to take a nice shot of this when we're done so we have a nice clean installation. First conductor is red. Again, this was the installation displacement terminal block. You do not need to strip the wires here. All you need to have is a fresh clean end and make the installation. The colors that you got 3 different ways to tell which conductor goes in each slot. We have a label over here with a color code. We have a color code written on top, or you can simply match it and put it across. Okay, you have the same colored conductors over here. You can go ahead and match the conductors on each side. So there's 3 different ways you can tell how to put the correct color in there. So we've got red, and we've got black, and the next is going to be violet. And when you do these installation displacement terminal blocks, you want to rock it all the way back so you feel it click. And the installation displacement terminal block must be all the way flat. Okay. Also, make sure you push your wire all the way in. Next is green. All the way in. Rock it all the way back. Next is orange. Next is brown. All the way in. All the way back. Next is yellow. All the way in, all the way back. Okay, so we've got all these guys, they're laying perfectly flat. We're going to go through here and give a little pull test, tug on each wire here, make sure we've got a good connection, and we do. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our foil. Okay, we have the cable all prepped and ready to roll. And we're going to take the foil, we're going to go ahead and press it in the standoff, and that's done. So when you get your cable cord grip, you're going to want to snug this guy down a little bit so you have a nice clean just a nice clean path in there. You don't want a lot of slack in here where you have this laying up against here, or up against. You just want a nice clean install. having a little bit of slack here is no problem. Just want to make sure you're not hitting any metal. This is good. This is good. If you do have slack, or if you do have an abundant amount of slack, you can go ahead and tie it off with a zip tie or something like that. So that's it. So we made our termination there. We're going from the terminal block down through into the surge device here, and then up to the structure. Okay. Next installation is going to be the side lights. Okay. Now what we've done is we got this all mocked up here for the video. You obviously do not want your side lights to look like this up on the tower. This connection needs to be either inside the fixture or in a junction box. There's 3 conductors here. We have line, neutral, and ground, and you guys can see how that works. For the obstruction light, we're going to go ahead and do the same thing. We're going to run the cable up in through the bottom. And this time we're going to make terminations on the DIN rail. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to clean up our conductors. Okay, we have our line, neutral, and ground. Okay, our ground is going to go right here. We'll go ahead and put it in there. Our neutral is going to go on the DIN rail. We have 4 positions here on the DIN rail for neutral. And we're going to go ahead and snug this guy down here. Perfect. And then lastly, we have our line power. And what we're going to do is we're going to put this in the obstruction light, module. Okay, so now our side lights are hooked up. So line, neutral, ground. We got this going up to the side lights. Again, we just have a demo mocked up here. What's probably going to happen in the field is your side lights are going to be, your side light cable is going to go up into a single junction box, and then your single junction box is going to go out to additional side lights. So we have the side lights hooked up. I'll go ahead and just get a little bit crowded in here. Next, we want to install the photocell. Okay, guys, we talked about the knockouts, and we're not knocking everything out. The photocell, what we're going to do, from the factory, the socket comes with this little, it's 12-inch or 16-inch pigtail. It comes with this little pigtail, and just for speed's sake, I'm just going to run the wires through the knockout that we've done here in the shop, and we're just going to make our terminations. Never ever do the knockout and mount the photocell at the bottom and run the wires right to there. What you guys are going to need to do is you guys are going to need to have these extended. You're going to want to run the photocell on an elbow and a conduit, and you want to mount upright, and you want to face the northern sky. Okay? Don't just do a knockout down here, run the cables right through and be done. It's going to leave the photocell upside down. It's going to be prone to water. Water's going to get in there, and it's going to fail first time it rains. So I'm just going to put the conductors through here for speed, but in the field, correct install, guys. Okay, here we go. So we're going to go ahead and put our conductors through here. All right, so we have P1, L1, and neutral. So what we're going to do here is our P1 is our black, and it's going to go right here. This is our photocell slot. L1 is our red. It's going to go right beside the black. And our neutral is going to go over on our neutral terminal block. And the photocell is installed. Okay? All these terminations, guys, all these terminations are going to be in your manual. It's going to be in your manual. It's also going to be over here in the door. Okay? We spell it out real clear where all the terminations are for each of these guys. So if you lose the video, or if you need help in the field, or you're looking for the information, all the termination spots are in the drawings, in the manual, and even on the door. And lastly, what we have to do is install power. So what we've done is we just grabbed one of our shop plugs here. We're not going to fire this guy up here, but we've just grabbed one of our test-in plugs. We're going to go ahead and grab it and make the installation. Again, we have our line, neutral, and ground. We have terminals that we put on here for test purposes. You guys don't necessarily have to do that. Just go ahead and make the connections. So we're going to go to our ground. Our line actually comes in through this breaker right here. And our neutral comes back over to our neutral terminal block. That's it, guys. That's it. So, okay. So what we've done here, guys, we've gone ahead, we've made all of our installations. We've made a good installation here at a terminal block. We've made sure all these terminals are laying flat. We've done a pull test on everything. We've verified that the foil is inside the standoff, and we have a nice straight run down here. Next was our side light cable. We've gone ahead and installed our side light cable. We've got our ground, our neutral, and the line power comes over here to the obstruction light terminal block. Next was our photocell. We had our P1 black, L1 red, and our neutral went to neutral. And finally was our power. We have our power. We had line, neutral, ground. Here's our line power, and here's our neutral. Okay, we've got a nice clean install. Next thing you do after you've got the installation, get your camera out, snap those pictures, show that you have a good installation. If you got video, give a pull test on those wires, make sure everything is okay. From this point in time, you'll go ahead and apply power, fire it up, verify it works, button it up, and you're done. If you need additional support, you can reach us at 315-699-4400, and you can also find us on the web, www.unimar.com.